If you look on the internet, you'll see that some people claim that it was a death penalty crime in Alabama to put salt on railroad tracks. Well, is there truth to this rumor? Well, the story, while a bit twisted, does have a basis in truth. In the 1800s, people did put salt on railroad tracks. And in fact, this resulted in an enormous death toll. That's right, people would intentionally, with premeditation, put salt on railroad tracks, intending to cause the very deaths that it did. Well, I only know of one case that actually went to court involving putting salt on railroad tracks, and the person involved, well, they didn't actually get the death penalty. In fact, they didn't even go to jail. But that's probably because the various deaths that were caused by putting salt on railroad tracks, well, they weren't to humans, they were to cows. And so here's the rest of the story. In the 1800s, Alabama laws were very protective of cattle farmers and dairy farmers, but they weren't very protective of railroads. And as you probably know, cows like salt. And so what the farmers would do is they would put the salt lick for the cows. They put it and they'd spread salt on the railroad tracks. The intent, well, the cows would go and lick up the salt. Boom, train would come along and kill the cow. So the farmers would take their sick and their dying and their ill cows, the ones that they couldn't sell at market, and they'd let them out and say, hey, graze along the railroad track. Of course, sooner or later the cows would get killed. Well, railroad companies were fully responsible for paying the farmer for the cost of these cows, and sometimes they even had to pay double damages for it. The railroad companies, not surprisingly, were upset with the cash cow that these farmers were getting, and let's say the railroad companies were utterly upset by it, and so they decided to do something, and they steered the Alabama legislature into passing a law, and that law said that yes, putting salt on railroad tracks was illegal. So there you have it. That's the origin of the stories you may have heard on the internet. I hope you enjoyed this episode of All Things Legal. I'm your host, Andy Siegel. Of course, I'm an attorney, and if you're in a legal jam, need our help, just give us a call. And if you like watching this show, please subscribe and give us the thumbs up, and I welcome your thoughts and comments and suggestions below. So thanks again.